theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated.
I'm super excited!
Hey, it's old Johnny Knuckles. My wife said her dang Walmart water tasted funny. I done looked what's in there. Calcium chloride. Guess who puts out calcium chloride? Pfizer. Look what it's for. Now, if you look down at the bottom right, it says like de-icer for your car and something else. This ain't for drinking. Why is Pfizer messing with drinking water? Hey, man, this stuff's going back to the store. They're trying to kill us. That's crazy. What's Pfizer? No, we're out of here. Y'all be safe. Hey, stay educated. Pfizer don't need to be in the water. They didn't. I said no to the vaccine. Y'all trying to trick me.
This comment right here. What is wrong with bioengineered foods? Asking for a friend? Let's get into it. And hopefully you guys aren't still eating Cheez-Its. And I'm sure a lot of you don't even know that Cheez-Its are actually banned in Europe and Japan because of this cancer-leading chemical, TBHQ. And if you have General Mills cereal sitting in your house today, do me a favor and throw it away. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. Ugh. I'm gonna play some clips I was able to find for you guys, and you can tell me what you think in the comment section. Let's go.
What about the Kellogg's Pop Tarts? Who wouldn't call that nice, warm, gooey, real fruit filling?
These toaster pastries contain yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. 3 food dyes that have been banned completely in Austria and Norway. Elsewhere in the European Union, foods containing these additives are banned in food meant for infants. When not banned, products containing them often must include a label warning about their potential negative effects on children.
But it doesn't stop there. You see the Ritz? These are also banned in multiple countries as well. Let's check it out.
Ritz crackers are easy to get your hands on. It may come as a big surprise that if you visit certain countries and head to the snack aisle to grab a pack, you won't be able to find them. But the reason some countries do not allow Ritz crackers to be sold has to do with the ingredients list and how they are made. The problematic ingredient is partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil. It is a type of trans fat that is not allowed in food products in many European countries, including Austria, Denmark, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland. However, it is not only prohibited abroad, but in some regions in the United States, too.
I mean, don't you guys realize that they want to get us sick and keep us sick? They're literally selling us food that is banned in other countries because it's causing harm to the human body. Illnesses, cancers, reproduction issues, and the list goes on. But it doesn't end here, guys. Let's get a little bit more into it.
Now they suddenly decide, oh, we're not going to call it GMO anymore. We're going to call it BE, bioengineered, right? So that's already hiding the fact. Most people don't know what bioengineered is. They'll see it on their label and they'll say, well, I don't know what that means.
So here's what the new labeling is going to look like. For example, this cereal box, which is now in compliance, lets you know right there on the labeling that it contains bioengineered ingredients.
So in other words, if your food labels have bioengineered, it's pretty much just a scientific term for GMO. And I'll play one more clip for you guys so you can get a better understanding.
Bioengineered food ingredients. What the heck is that all about? So the definition of bioengineered food ingredients is this: food that contains detectable genetic material that has been modified through certain lab techniques that cannot be created through conventional breeding or found in nature.
So in other words, anything bioengineered, it's not natural, it's man-made, it's getting us sick.
So do you mind to tell me your name and you do have cancer people, right?
Yes.
So can you tell me the story, please?
My name is Ernest Best, and I was diagnosed with stage 4 highly aggressive plasmatoid carcinoma cancer. And I was told I had 6 months to live. And there was nothing they could do for me. Chemo, radiation, no kind of treatments. They told me to go home and die. And so I quit my job and came home, and I done some research into cancer and found a story about Joe Tipton from Edmond, Oklahoma, who the veterinarians had told him about the dog dewormer with the drug benzidol in it that had killed his cancer. He's still alive today, 5 years later. And so I watched his videos and stuff. I started doing more research. I went to Tractor Supply and bought $250 worth of Safeguard dog dewormer, and I started taking it. I went and had PET scans, CAT scans, MRIs, and exploratory procedures up into my bladder. The tumor died. I passed the tumor out, and I'm totally cancer-free today because of the drug fenbenzidol.
Okay, that's the dog medicine.
That's the medicine that's in the dog dewormer. It's called fenbenzidole. FENBENDOZALOLE.
Okay, so we can buy this medicine online.
You can buy the
Amazon.
pills from
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay.
You can get 444 milligram pills. You can get 90 of them for $109.
Okay, so we have to how?
Take one in the morning and one at night.
Okay, one in the morning and one in the night, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I started in the dog dewormer. I've done 2 a day, 1 package in the morning, 1 package at night. I went to OU Cancer Center and they done 4 CAT scans. They didn't see no cancer.
So how the doctor says after that?
They said, I don't know how to explain it.
This like they say that is this miracle.
They say it's a miracle.
First at 11, this one is tough to believe. An investigation tonight into a possible illegal medical lab. It was operating out of an abandoned warehouse in Reedley. Inside, mice bioengineered to incubate the COVID-19 virus. The lab was discovered near I and 9th Streets. 30 refrigerators and freezers, some broken, were found filled with bodily fluids. Health officials tell us they are shocked at the biological house of horror. CBS 47's Juanita Adame live in studio with the shocking details tonight.
Well, Brian, this story is so complicated. There are local, state, and federal agencies all involved. Now, what prompted this investigation was a simple garden hose that was illegally attached and coming out of the back of a building. It was back in April inside this abandoned warehouse in Reedley that a discovery so shocking was made that it left local health officials stunned.
This is a truly unusual situation. I've been in government for 25 years. I've never seen anything like this.
I've never have seen this in my 26-year career with the County of Fresno.
What was supposed to be an empty building used only for storage was home to an unauthorized lab testing facility, something no one had even conceived of.
We reach out to our local public health directors throughout the state, California, and nobody has really expressed this type of interaction with a unlicensed lab. So it is something new.
The discovery was made after a local code enforcement officer noticed this garden hose poking out a back wall of the building.
Frankly, we knew that shouldn't be there. And when she went to go investigate, she found that there was activity or operation or something happening within that building.
The city then obtained several search warrants to enter the building. Once inside, no staff was located, but
there was a special room that was built housing about 1,000 mice, 1,000 white lab mice.
And the reason the mice were in the lab was jaw-dropping.
Through their statements, that they were doing some testing on laboratory mice there that would help them support developing the COVID test kits that they had on site.
Documents show the lab was also being used to produce pregnancy tests. 200 of the nearly 1,000 mice were already dead. According to court documents, all the rodents were being caged in, quote, inhumane conditions. Also found thousands of vials, many of which contained biohazards, materials including human blood, unidentified tissue, and other unknown substances.
A lot of these are being classified under unknown chemicals. Labels had been removed from bottles, so there was only certain testing we could do to those chemicals.
According to court documents, experts determined that at least 20 potentially infectious, viral, bacterial, and parasitic agents were being stored inadequately, including E. coli, malaria, and even COVID. The city of Reedley immediately called in the CDC, the FBI, the California Department of Public Health, and the Fresno County Department of Public Health.
I think because of that swift action that was taken, we really have been able to maintain public safety this entire time.
Over the course of several weeks, investigators figured out just what they were up against. And as of now,
there are no more biologicals, there are no more mice, but they still will see us abating. There's 30 freezers and fridges, there's medical equipment, there's all sorts of furniture in there. And so they'll still see some activity. Nothing hazardous at this point.
Prado said the owners operated under the name Prestige Biotech, and so far they aren't saying much.
Some of our other federal and state partners still have active investigations going, so I really can speak more to the building side of it.
Now again, Reedley City officials emphasize that
Procter & Gamble announces Crest toothpaste with Fluorestan, its exclusive fluoride compound, world's greatest weapon against decay.
Look, Mom, no cavities.
Former employees of Occidental Chemical Corporation have filed a lawsuit against the company. They say they have life-threatening diseases
like leukemia, emphysema, and toxic brain syndrome. For years, doctors struggled to diagnose them, but finally they found a common link. It was
fluoride.
It's a byproduct that they can't do anything with. It's a poison, so they sell it.
You allow industry to use your water supply to dispose of their hazardous waste. It was a scam from the get-go. It is a means of getting rid of fluoride. It's a disposal mechanism.
It's bizarre. Fluoridation is the worst recycling practice in the world.
So, you're Alcoa in the 1930s, a giant corporation that makes products out of aluminum. And honestly, you've created some pretty amazing things. Tea kettles, foil, airplane parts. But one thing that sucks about manufacturing aluminum is that it's a super messy process. Because, guess what? Raw aluminum doesn't come all perfect and soft and ready to be molded into a frying pan. It needs to be chemically processed and broken down. And this chemical process produces a lot of highly toxic chemicals like ammonia, methane, and fluoride. And we're not talking about the natural fluoride that occurs in caves and stuff. We're talking about an artificial, man-made fluoride compound that is way more toxic. Like really, really toxic.
Hydrofluorosilicic acid does not occur in nature. It's a man-made molecule. And it eats through concrete, glass, stainless steel, fiberglass, plastic. You name it, it'll eat it.
The problem is, it would be super expensive to dispose of this toxic fluoride in a safe and responsible way. So, it's a 1930s factory owner to do. Why not pipe it into the air or dump it in the river? I mean, come on, it's the 1930s. This is the dawn of the industrial age. No one cares that factories are dumping toxic chemicals into the river. No one even knows what the long-term effects of these industrial waste chemicals are. They're too busy making up for prohibition or whatever people did in the 30s. So as the years went by, you continued to flood the rivers with this fluoride waste. And everything was going fine and dandy for decades. Until things started to go south. See, you've been dumping fluoride into the air and water for over 30 years now, and people were starting to notice. Alcoa factory workers were showing symptoms of poisoning from the fluoride gases. Cows from nearby farms were getting really weak. They couldn't even stand on their own anymore. And local dentists were starting to notice strange brown stains and chipping on the teeth of children who live nearby. Fluoride is starting to get bad press. And if that bad press continued, everyone would start connecting the dots to you and your fluoride river dumping frenzy. And if that happens, you're gonna be buried with expensive lawsuits. It would be the end of you. So if you wanna survive this and thrive, then you gotta do something drastic. You gotta find a way to change the public's perception of fluoride from this toxic, poisonous chemical to something that's good for you. And this effort to rebrand fluoride into a healthy chemical would be one of the greatest propaganda efforts known to mankind. It's why today, fluoride has seeped into everything. It's in your toothpaste.
Chemical? You're gonna put some chemical in my mouth?
Tap water, table salt, bottled water.
Yes, Crest can really reduce cavities because only Crest has Fluorostan, an exclusive stannous fluoride formula that protects your whole family.
Chemical leak this afternoon in Rock Island. The chemical was so strong that it was burning through the concrete there.
It was just before 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon when hazmat crews were called to the Rock Island Water Treatment Plant for a chemical spill coming from this tanker truck. The chemical hydrofluorosilicic acid is used to add fluoride to the plant's water. After several hours, crews were able to clean up the leak, allowing operations to return to normal.
The treatment of the water and the amount of water being used by the public, there's no effect on that at all.
So why are we putting that in the water?
The United States, Canada, Australia, Ireland, and New Zealand generously provide you with the fluoride in your tap water free of charge. Why? Because it's good for you, they say. It's good for teeth. It prevents cavities.
To say things like tobacco's harmless, fluoride is harmless. Agent Orange is harmless, they say. DDT was harmless. Asbestos, right? Yeah. GMOs now, they say, are harmless. There's a long history of science selling out to corporate interests while the people are systematically poisoned.
And to this day, people still believe fluoride is safe in the drinking water, and the majority of dentists still believe it's safe to put in toothpaste and to put in different types of compounds.
When in reality, too much fluoride has been connected to brain damage, skeletal fluorosis, bone cancer, and lower IQ in children.
What we did was we exposed them, let them drink the fluoride in the water for 6 to 20 weeks. The pattern that we saw, it typically is what we see with other neurotoxic agents that are well known to cause a hypoactivity or a memory problem or an IQ problem. When I first presented the results of these studies, one of the individuals sitting and listening to the results, he says, "Do you have any idea what you're saying?" And he says, "You're telling us that we're reducing the IQ of children."
And yet, the government won't let you escape it even if you wanted to.
It's acidic. It'll kill you.
And it all started because Alcoa didn't want to get sued.
The FDA's authority over the safety of baby lotion. First, can the FDA require a review of baby lotion for safety before it comes to market? No. Can the FDA require the manufacturer not to use a toxic ingredient, for example, formaldehyde, in its baby lotion? No. Is the manufacturer required to register with the FDA before selling its baby lotion? No. So I think my first statement is becoming truer. Once the baby lotion comes to market, can the FDA require safety information about the baby lotion? No. If the baby lotion has caused bad reactions in the babies, can the FDA require a recall? No. If the manufacturer is aware of the baby's bad reactions, would the manufacturer be required to report that to the FDA? No. Well, I think everybody's paying rapt attention here.
I just want to take a second and make this quick video. I wanted to be aware of the dangers of some of the food that you will find in the grocery stores. I'm not going to name the specific store this came from, but it was a Costco, BJ's, Sam's, that type of store. As you can see, the date is September 2023. So there was plenty of time yet left on this bologna. I actually just cut the packs in two today. And I opened one of the packs that I was going to cook for supper. And let's see which one this is. Alright, so this is the pack that is bad. Looking at it this way looks normal, except the only thing that I see that caught my attention was that little black speck. Sometimes in your meat you may have little specks like that, so it really didn't concern me too bad, but of course it was not normal, so I was going to check it out. In doing so, let me show you what I found. Try not to touch it too much. This is what I have found in this meat. I did check the other pack. The other pack was completely normal. Nothing wrong with any of it all the way through, which of course I'm not going to use it just because the one side looked just like this. All I know is this is disgusting. And the label actually hid that part of the bologna that was decaying or rotting or whatever you want to call it. Not really sure what's going on with this meat. But I wanted to share with everybody, before you make your child sandwich and you pull off the very first layer of the bologna, ham, meat, anything that's from the packaged in the grocery stores, just to take a few more seconds to double check some of the layers to make sure your meat is of good quality, because looking at this cannot imagine having ate anything out of this pack of meat at all. And again, I just opened this evening. It's September 22, 2023 date on it, so there's no reason it should be bad. But I did want to share this for everybody, just for their safety, their child's safety, and I hope it prevents somebody from opening a pack and getting sick from prepackaged meat.